Here is the man who brought a new style of body language to both theatre and television and radio. Not that it mattered all that much in radio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man you call for whenever there's trouble. Get Ferrier, you say, Mr. Noel Ferrier.
A Melbourne fog, my dear Newton. Oh, what's this naughty thing here?
How are you, Noel?
What, my love?
Are you well, my darling?
Very, very, very well indeed. Very well. Isn't this sumptuous?
Yes.
Very different to the old Late Show.
Well, of course.
You remember the Late Show?
Yes, I do.
Where are we? I made this man what he is. Oh, the camera works still as bad as ever. I made this man what he is today.
So you're to blame, are you? Yes.
I've got a lot to answer for in the entertainment business.
For those who don't remember, for those who don't go back to 1956, Noel was the very first Tonight Show compere in Australia.
Yes.
He starred in a program called The Late Show, and then because of theatrical commitments that he had to fulfil, I then came in and replaced him on The Late Show.
Right. Now, the actual story is...
I white-handed you.
That's all rubbish, of course. Well, yes. I would say he was sort of starting to learn the tricks of the trade. I got sacked.
Did you really?
Sacked.
Well, the producer at the time, Mr. Alf Spargo, the late Alf Spargo, he rang me and he said that you had commitments in theatre, he said.
No, I got sacked because it was so horrendous doing that show. I used to sort of have to have a flask of whiskey on my hip pocket, you see, because you never really knew what was going to happen next. And some nights, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
By the end of the show, I was a bit legless.
And you didn't care.
What's more, I didn't give a damn. Because after all, tomorrow's another day. And
exactly.
So,
you don't drink anymore, though, do you?
No. Golly gosh, I gave it away about 1973.
Why did you see... And when did you... Well, you saw the light in 73, but why did you see the light?
Well, because I was a hopeless alcoholic. And I thought, well... It's either give it away. I mean, the party was over. I'd had really a wonderful, how many years, 20 years or so on the Terps. And I loved it. I was passionate about beer, as you well know, passionate about beer, any form of liquor, anything that came in a bottle. It went in a flash. And finally the old body gave away, not to mention the mind. So it was time to pack it in, and I did.
So not one since then?
No, actually, I picked up my wife's gin and tonic the other day by mistake, and I thought it was the vilest thing that I could ever possibly taste. And yet I used to be firmly addicted to the old G&T.
Although I'm sure 2 or 3 you'd get the taste back, wouldn't you?
I think 2 or 3. I think 1 would probably get the taste back.
Noel, I mean, you're about the only person I know, as a friend, who really has declared that you're an alcoholic and has been dry for that long. I mean, lots of friends of ours are alcoholics, but they're not necessarily dry. Is it really a case of... you know, 1 is not enough and 100 is too many?
That old saying is quite true, actually. Yes, for me, it is. I don't know whether it is for everyone. But I lived for booze. I mean, so there was... My wife was going to give me away, my family were giving me away. Everyone was giving me away, you know, because I was becoming really obnoxious.
Yeah. What would happen, Noel, for example, if I spiked that water beside you with vodka? I mean, would that then make your body demand more alcohol?
I don't know. I think it probably is. People say that alcoholism is a disease. That is one of the things. I don't know that it is. With me, I just loved it. It was a passion. And I suppose after a while it became a sort of disease. But I think I could now probably drink, but I really wouldn't want to go through what I went through.
Sure.
And so I've not missed it at all. In fact, I've enjoyed life so much more without it.
Did you discover things that you hadn't noticed before?
I discovered how boring people are when they're full.
Yeah.
And I used to think to myself at parties, I thought, God, you are the most boring creature in the world. This is after he'd been telling me the same story 5 times over. And clearly forgetting that probably I was a great deal more boring than they were when I was on the Terps. And so that's the main thing you discover. You discover how boring people are when they're drunk.
Did you lose many friends Because
Yes.
they were boozers and you weren't
Yes,
anymore.
I did miss the pubs. I mean, I loved the pubs. I loved the atmosphere of pubs and all that sort of thing, and I loved the people you met in pubs and all that sort of thing. But then I took up 2-Up, and so that...
Yes, someone mentioned before the show today that Noel wants to talk about 2-Up. I thought it was a new Australian play.
No. David Williamson hasn't written that one yet, but I'm sure he will.
He will.
Because,
Have you seen Top Silk, by the way?
Yes.
Good?
And he's got the same laugh as he always has.
Yes,
I think it's got a lot going for it. Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't quite my bag, but never mind. It did very well in Sydney, so I'm sure it'll do very well here.
Tell us about 2-Up.
Well, last year I was doing Fair Lady and the show, and I was in Adelaide, and the stage door of the festival theatre there more or less backs on to the casino. So as I was doing Doolittle in Adelaide, which Warren Mitchell did here, I mean, so he only comes on in the first half, and then he goes off, and then doesn't come back in again.
There's a long
till the
time to
second
fill in, isn't there?
Quite a long time to fill in, so I had to sort of do something. It was either knitting or crochet.
Been there, done that.
Yes.
In your drinking days.
You can just knit so many pullovers, can't you?
I still have the blue one, though. It's lovely.
And it suited you
Yes,
so well.
I like the fair isle. It's beautiful. So anyway, what you used to do when you had a lot of time? I mean, back in the old days we were talking about, this would be a godsend, wouldn't it?
Like this. I mean, so you get yourself really ready for the second half.
So where were you going to play 2-Up?
Well, into the Adelaide Casino, which is going to be about the best casino in Australia.
It's
I
beauty,
think.
isn't it?
It's just terrific. I played everything there, but then I got hooked on the 2-Up, and I won a lot of money. And after a while, they said, "Come in and have a spin," you see. And so I went in, and I was one of the champion spinners there. I was a great headsman.
As a producer and director and entrepreneur, I mean, is it permissible for an actor to leave the theatre during a performance?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, absolutely not.
But you got away with it.
Oh, yes. I mean, so they didn't mind me coming in to the casino dressed as Doolittle with all my old gear on and the big cloak on.
Can you imagine anyone who wouldn't realise that you're in the play saying, "You must be back on it"?
That's right.
Someone said you brought a kip with you.
I certainly have. I
like to
don't go
explain
anywhere without it.
The finer points
But
of the
you've
game.
played 2-Up, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You have?
But I haven't played very well, actually.
Well, this is a tourist one.
Yes.
So you've got 2 pennies, and they're never as gold as that, of course. And you put 1 penny there, and you put 1 penny there. A head's there and a tail's there.
What do you reckon you could do with them?
Well, then you toss them in the air.
Yes.
And I would have, knowing my form, I was well known as a headsman.
Yes.
In Adelaide. A 2-Up headsman. And people would follow me, you see.
That's right.
And so
Everything's fine so far.
you haven't become any less of a rat, have you?
What, give up this business?
No, I think you found your niche here.
Yes.
You know.
What about tossing them for us and see if you can head them?
I certainly will. Head them.
Yes.
Well, do you want me to toss this
Anywhere
here?
you like. You just choose the spot. Noel.
Where's the immaculate camera? This one?
You own the studio.
It's all in the wrist, you know.
Yes.
It's really all in the wrist. This is supposed to be an in-depth conversation.
Of course it is.
All right, so and you've got to spin them. If
Yes.
you don't spin them and they don't go a considerable distance in the air, you've got
Hang on,
to
is that a drum roll or is that rain?
Is there a drum roll? Have we got a drum?
Yes,
we
we
use a
certainly
drum.
have. Just the one kettle drum.
Glad you hear this other thing, mate. We right?
One.
You want head?
Oh, you've dropped one, you stupid sausage.
No, wait a minute.
One more try.
Okay, we're right, this is it.
Yes.
Head,
What have you got?
head, tails.
Ah, well, there you go. 1 out of 2 is not bad. No.
Yeah.
Come join me again. Incidentally, you've lost some weight, haven't you?
Not really.
I thought you had.
Not really. No, I'm still fat.
Which did you
Still
enjoy?
fat.
Did you enjoy Doolittle more than Pickering?
Oh, yes. It's such a
Meteor
good part.
roll.
Well, old Pickering in Fair Lady, you're just there sort of carrying everything. You're there all the time, yawning your head off all night, whilst Higgins and everyone else takes the whole show. But with Doolittle, you come on, you do that first number, and they love you straight away. And then you come back and do that second number, you see. Get me to the church on time, and I'm getting married in the morning.
No, we couldn't have you on this program without asking you to sing for us. Could we, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, when you have a great thespian on the show,
Yes.
the call must be sing a song.
You want me to sing a song?
Yeah, and also play if you wouldn't. I've got a piano
Play
over
a
here.
piano?
Yes, just come over here, Noel, if you will.
Which way will I go around here?
Over yonder, just join
Okay,
me.
right.
Over here. Got a piano and the whole box and dice.
What would you like me to sing?
Let me think. What about the great George Wallace standard hit?
A Brown Slouch Hat?
Yes. Do you still know it?
Do I know it? I practically wrote it.
Well, put it down there, let your feet dangle.
I beg your pardon?
Sit down there.
Thank you.
And I'll introduce you as you should be introduced.
Okay.
Or perhaps I'll lie. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Noel Ferrier and the George Wallace classic, A Brown Slouch Hat.
It's just a brown slouch hat with the side turned up, and it means the world to me. It's the symbol of our nation in our fight for victory. How proudly they wear it, how proudly they bear it for all the world to see. It's just a brown slouch hat with the side turned up, heading straight for victory.
Wonderful, Noel. Oh, still tears to the eyes.